Hello and welcome to CATEX-TV. I'm Tom Bailey in London. It's 4:30 PM in London, 11:30 Eastern Time and 12:30 in Bermuda. The day in history. Today in 1815, a US flotilla ended piracy by pirates ranging in Algiers, Tunis and Tripoli, threatening the southern Mediterranean. Today in 1945 saw the US bomber Eleanor Gay drop the first atom bomb on the city of Hiroshima. And today in 1951 saw a typhoon cause flooding which killed 4,800 people in Manchuria, the province of China. And now to the news. Sticking with China, residents of a remote farming town in western China have been barred from leaving after becoming infected with what officials described as the world's most deadly pneumonic plague. 3 people have died and 9 have been taken to hospital since the disease struck Zhaitan, a town of 10,000 people in the Qinghai province last week. Wang Hu, head of the Qinghai Provincial Disease Prevention Bureau, said yesterday, "The plague in Qinghai and the Tibetan Plateau is unique, and it's the most deadly in the world. Zhaitan, a town of mainly ethnic Tibetans, about 480 kilometers west of Beijing, has been put under quarantine. Public buses were pulled off the streets, few shops remained open, and people have been told to disinfect their homes and shops, according to residents. At least 2 people were seriously ill with the disease, which can kill within 24 hours, and one of them was described as being close to death." Chinese health officials have confirmed that 7 others were described as stable, and authorities were tracking down people who have been in contact with those infected. Police were put on guard outside the hospital treating the infected, but residents are reported to have fled the area despite the quarantine. The pneumonic plague is the second most virulent and second least common form of plague. The World Health Organization says that it can spread through the air and is passed through coughing. Without treatment, patients can die 24 hours after being infected. The treatment is penicillin. It is an animal disease that circulates mainly among rats and mice. Human infections typically take place when they are bitten by plague-carrying fleas. Since 2001, the World Health Organization reported 6 outbreaks, though many may go unreported because they often happen in remote areas. Air Force search and rescue planes from New Zealand have joined a search for 27 people missing after a ferry sank off the Pacific island nation of Tonga. The aircraft are working with local vessels at the scene of the sinking, about 86 kilometers northeast of the Tongan capital Nuku'alofa, after a distress call was received about 11 PM local time on Wednesday. Neville Blackmore, spokesman for the New Zealand Rescue Coordination Centre, said in a statement earlier yesterday, "The ferry sank fast, but we don't know why. New Zealand is responsible for search and rescue operations in the Tongan region." According to the RCCNZ, the ferry was carrying 79 people, with 52 having been rescued so far. Now we're seeing a lot of hurricane and storm activity in the Pacific. At the moment there is a Typhoon Morakot heading towards Japan, and its speed is about 80 knots. And then in the eastern Pacific we've got Storm Enrique, which you'll be able to see from the graphic is growing, and it's very close to Hurricane Felicia, which is so far a Category 4 hurricane with winds of about 105 miles per hour, and it's predicted to strengthen, and it's heading towards Hawaii at the moment, so we'll keep you updated with the movement of those 3 storms and any other storm developments that should occur. We're now in the sort of height of the hurricane season, both Pacific and Atlantic. We've got some company results through. Max Capital Group comfortably beat analyst expectations with second quarter earnings of $43.8 million as insurance policy sales grew, but the net income figure was down 41% on the $74.2 million earned in the same period for last year. Max reaped the benefits from expansion of its underwriting platform into the US and London markets over the past 2 years, as gross premiums written from property and casualty operations rose to $355.5 million for the 3-month period. That's up 29% from the same period last year. Max chairman and chief executive officer Marston Becker said, "Our underwriting platforms in Bermuda, Dublin and the US and at Lloyd's have all produced favourable results for the quarter. For the second consecutive quarter we posted strong growth in gross premiums written, primarily driven by the expansion of Max's newer specialty underwriting platforms in the US and at Lloyd's." And finally today, Lloyd's insurer Hardy Underwriting Bermuda announced gross written premium was up more than 50% in its first half results, but the pre-tax profits fell, so much in line with Max there. Gross written premium stood at $149.9 million, compared with $97 million for the same period last year. Profit before tax and foreign exchange movements was $18.7 million compared to $7.3 million last year, but profit before tax of $7.8 million compared with $8.7 million, so foreign exchange movement giving them a big dent there. The combined ratio before foreign exchange movements was 75.7% compared with 85% last year, and the combined ratio including foreign exchange movement was 87.7% compared with 83.3%, so again hit by exchange rates on the combined ratio. Rates on 2009 renewals increased by 6.5% across the portfolio. David Mann, the chairman, said there are clear signs that the recovery is underway in the insurance market, and the ratings increases we have witnessed across several of our major classes of business are very encouraging. Barbara Merry, Hardy's chief executive, said the long-term trend of underwriting performance is key, and the combined ratio before foreign exchange movements of 75.7% again demonstrates the consistency, quality and depth of our expertise. She continued to say, "We could not be more fortunate in having a strong, committed team and a robust balance sheets and a fantastic brand." Well, that's all from us today. We'll be back with you at the same time tomorrow. Until then, thank you very much and goodbye.